Hey. We all have that game that we almost passed up on because you didn't like the art direction, the gameplay, they changed directors. Shadow of the Colossus back in 2005 on the PlayStation 2 was mine. I was a very casual gamer back then. If it wasn't like Mario, Zelda, Sonic, or Pokemon, or maybe some like hardcore anime kind of games like Dot Hack, I didn't touch it. My friend let me borrow Shadow of the Colossus and I was skeptical, but I popped it in my PlayStation 2 and it blew my mind. It was a technical marvel. It reached limits unthinkable for the PlayStation 2. Skip ahead a bit to 2011 and it got released with Ico as a collection. Fast forward even further to February 6, 2018, where Shadow of the Colossus was re-released on the PlayStation 4 and truly demonstrated everything this game had to offer. I recently played it on Twitch. I decided to play hard mode because I remember the PS2 version, normal, it was a little too easy. So let's see how this game holds up. Shadow of the Colossus opens up with a beautiful scene, the main protagonist Wanderer swiftly galloping to the Forbidden Lands. Upon arriving at the temple, he removes the bundle, revealing a sleeping woman in white. Mono, a lover, friend, or family? It's never really expanded upon. Soon after, Dorman, nothing more than a plotting voice, calls out to Wanderer, who seeks to revive Mono. Dorman refuses until Wanderer reveals the ancient sword. The voice has a change of heart and tells Wanderer to fell 16 colossi that roam in the Forbidden Lands, and in return he'll bring back Mono. Not caring of the consequences of his actions, Wanderer mounts Aggro, his trusty steed, and sets out to slay the shadowy giants. I like that the story is vague from the start. You're immediately put on edge because of Dorman's warning of a terrible cost, but Wanderer is fearless and his resolve unbreakable. The entirety of Shadow of the Colossus is strictly bound to the idea of slaughtering these moving mountains. It's a boss rush game. No side bosses, no side quests, just 16 monsters. Kill them all. You travel long distances guided by the ancient sword's light to the colossi. You end up dropping Aggro off in some areas and climb to meet the dreaded beast alone. Other times, Aggro will prove necessary in combat. There are multiple stages of fighting the Colossus. One, namely finding them, can be a challenge itself. They're not all straight shots like the first few. A big part of the puzzle is finding where these beasts rest. Secondly, how to provoke the monster. Not all colossi will attack you once you're spotted. Instead, you gotta piss them off. I recommend an arrow to the face. Thirdly, how to scale them. If you're stuck after a certain period of time, Dorman's voice will offer a hint. Then, find a patch of fur Wanderer can grab onto and climb, climb, climb. Be wary of your stamina pool, as colossi try to shake you off. If you run out, you'll fall, and depending on how far you fall down, you'll be blessed with lovely fall damage, and be staggered for a bit. I streamed this on Twitch, and here's a brilliant clip of how falling will mess you up.
Oh. 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 Holy. Oh.
You could say the colossi really stepped up its game. As you climb up, you'll find the Colossus' glowing weak spot. Stab your sword into them several times and claim your victory. However, not all Colossi are that cut and dry, as weak spots move, or are cleverly hidden. You'll have to make note of your environments, learn how they move, and take control of the situation. No Colossi is the same in figuring out its demise other than the basic stab until they drop. And when they do fall, serpent-shaped shadows flow into Wanderer, only for him to reawaken in the Forbidden Temple, with shadowy figures standing around him. Paying no mind to his injuries, Dorman sends Wanderer to the next Colossi. I found Wanderer's limited moveset to be flimsy as the PS2 version, when the Colossi is shaking him off, or how he suddenly grabs a hold of the closest thing he can. What are those physics? It definitely feels like he fumbles around quite a bit. Even how he wields a sword looks clumsy. And if I'm being honest, sometimes camera angles are not in your favor. So something I was really hoping for in the PS4 version was new Colossi. We didn't get in the PS3 version, so maybe the PS4. No. A little inside knowledge for you. Fumito Ueda, sorry if I said that wrong, creator of Shadow of the Colossus' original vision had 48 colossi. 48! That's a lot, people. He realized that was a bit much, so he cut it down to 24. And even then, he cut it down to 16, which is what we have today. Some Colossus were cut because of their similarity to other Colossi, and others due to hardware limitations of the PS2. And that's the one that pisses me off. Similar ones, don't want it to be repetitive, fine. Even though you gave us these two turds, you know what? Fine. And yes, I acknowledge how you go about fighting them is completely different. I get it, I just really fucking hate them. But back to the hardware limitations, we got this. We're on the PS4 now. We are Gucci. The 8, that's right, 8 unused Colossus had some awesome designs, and some even had a way to defeat it all mapped out. But alas, the devs held out on us and we got the original 16. Like, I would have been happy for an extra 2, the spider and the monkey. Spider monkey. If you want to see more of these, I left a link in the description. While traveling, there are very little things to look out for, like mini temples where you heal and you can save your progress, along with the fruit that expands your max health and silver lizard tails that expand your stamina. On stream, I was playing on hard mode and health was desperately needed. After completing the game, there are different challenges that unlock items to make Wander do more damage and take less damage and so on. Let's move on to the graphics, and hot damn, did Shadow of the Colossus get the glow up it deserved. I mean, it was already impressive on the PS2. I remember being blown away by these living mountains when I first played, but PS4 took it to that next level. They don't look grainy like they did in the PS2, but sharp and crisp. The background details are just right, and the day textures, seeing each strand of grass in detail, and how the light hits the foreground, I mean, it looks like a damn movie, a cinematic masterpiece. The fur on the Colossi looks fuzzy and warm, and it actually moves when it shakes. My only complaint is how Wander's face looks. It's a bit doll-like, you got the porcelain skin, kinda alien-looking eyes. Overall, they absolutely did an outstanding job giving this game a proper remake. But you know, while looking at these comparisons, you still gotta admit the PS2 version looks amazing. And finally, another strong element of this beautiful game is the music, composed by Kou Otani. Apologies if I mispronounced it. You wouldn't expect it, but this soundtrack is incredible, absolutely awesome. In fact, while I was playing the remake, I forgot how epic and grand the soundtrack is. While traveling fields, it's ambient sounds, hearing the pitter-patter of Agro's gallops, but once you near a Colossus, the entire mood changes, thanks to Utani's brilliance. This is the Colossus Senpai Noticed You song of the first Colossi called Sign of the Colossus. You're blanketed in mystery, unsure what you're getting into. As Wanderer takes his first step, the player is unsettled. You see the monster and frankly, you're bewildered. Do you shoot it with an arrow? Do you boldly advance? There's no turning back now. As you search for a way to bring the mighty beast down, and after successfully figuring out the puzzle, the music changes into something hopeful, encouraging, yet sad. That you're well on your way to conquering a mighty moving mountain. You climb your way to victory, searching for its radiant weak point, coldly slaying the monster. When you grab a hold of the Colossi, it has various themes, and each one of them is very beautiful in their own right. The Colossi with the best music, hands down, is shared between Barba and Quadratus, called Revived Power. This track makes you feel invincible and that you can conquer the entire world. Shadow of the Colossus gets a 9 out of 10. If it weren't for the funky game controls, especially on the horse, camera angles, and the goddamn stun lock, this game would be perfection. Shadow of the Colossus is a cinematic masterpiece, combined with a dark story, epic monsters, and a crazy finale. Well, what more could a girl ask for? More Colossi, that's what. But that shouldn't reflect on the game score, so. If you love boss rush games and a unique platformer, this is your game. I highly recommend it. Replay value is super high because there's different modes, normal, hard, normal time attack mode, hard time attack mode, which I want to tackle one of these days. So my question to you guys is, what is your favorite and least favorite Colossi if you've played the game? My favorite Colossi is hands down Avion, the bird. I think he's the 5th Colossi, and he is just epic. I mean, you're fighting him in the sky, he's doing straight 360s, you know, he's leaning to the left, leaning to the right. It's just insane, his battle, but it just felt so good the entire time. Never a dull moment. My least favorite Colossi is Celosia and Cenobia. They're the small Colossi. They're fast, they shake you off, and they suck. I hate them so much. With that, thanks for watching. We're almost to 10K, so be sure to spread the word. Thank you so much for watching. Top box is my reviews and the bottom box is my Let's Play channel. Love you guys so much and let's get this 10K. Be excited. Breath of Fire 3 review is next.